What up guys, welcome back to the vlog. You can see I got the GTR behind me here. I wanted to go back and recap some of the things from the last videos. A few people were DMing me, asking me what certain things cost. Throughout the videos previously, I had been saying kind of where we were at into the car every single video along the way. But as things got a little bit more hectic towards the end, we kind of just started going for it and going crazy and not really recapping what some of the final things cost. Going back into some of the last few videos, you saw I got the wrinkle coating done on the engine covers. That was great. I love the way that it turned out. Thank you again to my friends at Raw Powder Coating for getting that done. For something like that, it cost $500 to do all of the pieces. In addition to that, I needed extra gaskets, something that I forgot about along the way. So I had to get a hold of Lewis at Parts for Nissan, have those sent over. Those were an extra 170 bucks. So basically to put everything back to the way it was an extra 670. In the video, right at the end of one of the last ones, you saw that we had a radiator issue. I found a small pinhole leak in the coil radiator, so I had to get a new one of those. All right, in going with the theme of this car, more things are broken. After getting the idle issue fixed, thanks to Sean, we found out the radiator is cracked. So what better time to replace the radiator than after you find out it's cracked, right before you get to drive it. Sean lent me the one that he had, but that has to get replaced, so that's $350 for that. Also, the clutch fan, there was a crack in it, and those are known to just grenade sometimes. So my friends over at GK Tech sent over some stuff that I needed for that. So that clutch fan kit that they sell is way better than the OEM one. It moves a lot more air, and I did touch on that in one of the earlier videos, but it's $70 for that fan, an extra $20 for the adapter, and then $70 more for the radiator fan shroud. So that puts us at $160 to kind of replace that. So going back, the last time I recapped what we were in parts wise, not including labor and some of the small stuff here and there, things that we could fix, we're at about $27,300. This puts another $1,180 on top of that. So that puts us at $28,530 in parts for the car. Now again, a lot of this stuff I was able to save, reuse, repurpose, clean up, or refinish. So I did actually save a lot of money by fixing other stuff that I had or could find, like the front bumper. So for example, the front bumper on this car does have some weirdness going on with it because it was the front bumper off of a car that had been previously in an accident. So I had to fix that. So fixing it was a lot cheaper than buying a brand new one. Now I'm going to need to get a brand new one at some point because I want that N1 style front bumper like the Nismo cars have. But right now those bumpers are $1,500 to $1,700. So I got to try to find one in Japan, ship it over here. But again, that saved me a good amount of money by just fixing it rather than replacing it. Looking back at, can you buy a car like I bought and do all the work yourself for less than you can just buy a car from us? And not really, actually. So my car wasn't the greatest example to start with. I would have much rather started with a much cleaner chassis. But I went with the one that I found just to kind of do this as a fun little experiment. And kind of what I found, like I said, being $28,500 into parts and other stuff in this car, not including the stuff that I was able to repurpose, isn't a great number to be at if the price of the car is really anything above $25,000. And the reason I say that is for about $50,000, you can get a much better starting point, a much nicer R32 GTR. Now, as they go up from there, obviously things get better and better and better. So kind of looking back on it, I think I would have rather just spent like $60,000 on a nice car already just a car that was really nice. And then only did a few like small things to it, like, you know, the R33 brakes if the car didn't already have it, and the Nismo look if the car didn't already have it. But having to go through and do everything was not only really time consuming, super exhausting, not only on me, but everybody else that helps me. But it was really expensive, you know, so being about $60,000 into this thing, I think that in hindsight, I would have just bought a $60,000 R32 that was really nice. And we do have those on the website right now. Obviously, prices of them continue to go up. So that's working out, you know, well with this car. But again, I'm happy with it. It's everything that I want now. So I guess it doesn't really matter either way. If I'd have started with a $60,000 car, I would have been making some of the changes to get it the way that I did it this way. So either way, it's kind of a wash, but I would highly recommend, if you're looking to buy a project car, just maybe wait and try to find a nicer car, because unless you have all of the connections and the resources that I have through Toprank, and especially, you know, Sean Morris, I don't know how somebody else would navigate all of this and get it done for any less than I did. All right, moving on to the next thing. Ours Day, track day, was a phenomenal experience. I had an incredible time driving the car and just being there in general. That did cost a little bit of money too. Going to the track is not an inexpensive thing to do most of the time, although I think it will get less expensive for me as I go, because I won't need to buy some things for a second time. Going into that, I picked up a few things that I thought were important, and I would recommend, if you have an R32 or 33 that you're going to take to the track, you get some of these things as well. So kind of the first thing I had to buy is a new helmet. So I went with this G-Force helmet. I looked at a bunch of different helmets. I tried to buy a Simpson one, but buying a helmet from Simpson was literally next to impossible, since apparently they don't have any retail locations that are open. They said that they can't find employees, or struggling to find employees. So this helmet is what I went with, and actually wouldn't really help you with it. It is a G-Force helmet. It's matte black. I like everything to be black. It's great. It cost me $280 plus tax. So I would recommend this helmet if you don't have a helmet and you're looking to get one. Obviously there's more expensive ones, obviously there's cheaper ones, but this one I felt pretty good with. The next thing was getting the car there. I shipped it because driving it seemed a bit sketch, seeing as how I hadn't really ever driven the car any sort of distance before, and I didn't know if we had overlooked anything or how it was gonna go. So that cost me $800 to ship it both ways. We used a friend at Lucky's. Great job, 10 out of 10, would recommend them for any of your local SoCal transportation needs. But $400 each way, $800, got the car there and back safe. In hindsight, I could have driven it because the car held up just fine, but better safe than sorry. And speaking of better safe than sorry, one thing that maybe you do or don't want to do, I did it because I just told you how much money I stuck into this thing and didn't want to ruin it on day one, was Hagerty's track day insurance. So this, I doubt this is going to focus on it, but I can drop it in there for you. Basically, you get a little thing here from Hagerty. I signed up the day before for this. You can do a day of, you can do an hour of for track day insurance. You basically fill it out, put in the information about your vehicle, the track that you're gonna be driving on. They have a whole selection that you can choose from, and it somehow in their algorithm calculates what the cost of that is going to be, again based on the value of your car and the modifications that your car has. So for me, it was $270 for it. And again, they sent it straight to my phone. So if anything were to happen on the track, I would have that. So you can list your mods on the value of your car. Again, it's really just for a total loss scenario. So if you put it in a wall or somebody hits you or something like that and the car's totaled, then you get a check for whatever you insured your car at. If you curb your wheel or something like that, that's not covered. Moving on to the next thing was track armor. This helped protect the front end of my car. Because we were down to like such a crunch time, I didn't have time to PPF my car, though I am going to get it PPF'd because I plan on doing more track day stuff with it. This stuff I bought on Amazon. My friend Tyrone told me about it. It is like a temporary PPF. You can get it in different size sheets. This is the one I got, and I just wrapped it over the front of the car. It looked like this. And although it looked a little awkward in some of the video and some of the photos of the car, it definitely was better than the alternative of getting rock chips all over my car. I will say that it did leave like a weird residue in my paint. And that might have been because it was like 100 degrees out. I don't know if it like cooked on or baked on. It peeled right off, no problem, but it left like this weird kind of waviness from whatever the obvious adhesive is on it. That was a pain to get out. I actually took it to a shop to get it paint corrected in order to get that kind of waviness out. So one thing to consider, maybe I put it on wrong. I don't know if you need to use like a soapy water or something like that. That kind of helps clear that up. But I would absolutely recommend it to keep rock chips away from your paint if you don't have full PPF. Two more things that I bought just kind of in preparation and actually did end up needing them were extra coil packs and extra MAFs. So the RB26 is a finicky one, and sometimes you can get a misfire from one of these two things. So I did experience a misfire on the track, and thankfully I had Sato and Taka and Wakita to help me out with that and change it trackside. These are something that Sean just keeps with him pretty much at all times when he's driving a GTR. I'm gonna start doing the exact same thing because I see now that they are absolutely really, really valuable to have. Pricing on these, about 200 bucks for coil packs, about $185 for a pair of spare MAFs. These are used MAFs, but good working condition ones, brand new ones, can range up to about $400. So you can keep a set of those, or you can just buy a set of spares in case you need them like I needed them. Last and kind of final thing is the oil that I use, Pennzoil 10W60. Obviously Pennzoil gave me that full free, but it's $58 if you want the 5-gallon barrel of it. That is a good amount of oil. It will last you a few times. And overall, I mean, the car was great. Didn't have any oil temperature issues whatsoever, despite it being a really hot day out in the desert. So thanks again to Pennzoil for that. And I guess where this puts us, like I said, about 28,530 into the car, not including little nicky-nacky things that I had to get along the way or stupid things that I overbought for. But if you have any questions about what things cost, or you want to find out where to buy certain things, I'm going to try to include as many links as I can down below, but also feel free to just shoot me a DM on Instagram or drop a comment, and I will try to get you a link. I know that in a lot of the previous videos, people have been asking me for links to where I bought stuff, and I'm trying to stay on top of making sure those links go somewhere or sending it to them, because I understand this stuff is difficult to get if you just don't have a room full of it behind you. But best of luck to all of you that are doing stuff with the R32s. This is by far not the end of what I'm doing to the car. Car needs an oil cooler. I need better brake pads. I need a whole mess of extra things for this car that I just didn't get to yet. But it's going to be an ongoing series because cars are ongoing projects, and are they ever really finished? So thanks for checking out the video again, guys. If you think of anything that I should do to the car, any extra things you think I need, just drop them in the comments below. I am all open to all sorts of things, despite seeing like hundreds and hundreds of these cars. Actually in front of me, there's like 50 GTRs. So even though every single day is kind of filled with me dealing with these cars and looking at these cars, I'm always finding things that I could do better, or things that I didn't know existed, or parts that I realize I want or don't want. But again, the car is here, it's back, it's clean, it's looking good, and I cannot wait to get started on more things for this car and also get it to Laguna Seca. So again, guys, thanks for checking out the vlog, and I'm gonna try to stay on top of these, and we'll see you guys in the next one.